This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Joe. Today's special guests are 10th Mountain Distillery, who should have used an airborne name, and Roger, a Marine gunny who swears he's not jealous of the Army.
What up, Trash Talkers? Welcome to episode 15 of the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, brought to you by Ventura and Training and Athletics. Our special guests for today are 10th Mountain Distillery and retired Master Gunnery Sergeant Rogers Glover. OOOH-RAH. As always, I'm here with Nick, Joe, and Buddy. Let's get this show started. Over to you, Nick.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, we got a packed house today, guys. It's going to be a good show. I just wanted to talk about our partnership that's in the beginning with Stop Soldier Suicide. We are a for-profit company, so yeah, get on there and buy our swag. And the reason we are for-profit is to make as much money as possible to help out as many people as possible. That being said, Stop Soldier Suicide is a different type of, veteran service. They go after the reactive phase of soldiers veterans that want to commit suicide. So they have an entire wellness center set up. They have psychiatrists on staff, and that costs a lot of money. All right. It's not like Wounded Warrior Project where, they're taking you on outings, which Wounded Warrior Project is awesome as well too. But yeah, it costs money, guys. It costs money to do things, to take care of people. And their goal is our goal. When we had our meeting the other day, we talked about, instead of just having all these little random onesies and twosies spots to get help, we want to make sure that we can all funnel it into one area so that we can get these veterans help. And they brought up some of the age categories of what veterans commit suicide. And, you could probably guess without looking it up, and you might be wrong. It's actually more the 45 to 50-year-olds, right? It's the people that, when they come back and all hope is gone, and they struggle with it for years, and it just builds and it builds and it builds, right? So what we're working on is, with the Trash Talk group, with our awesome group that we have and the platform that we have, we want to be the proactive part of that, right? We want to catch it early. We want to get you the help you need early. And guess what? You need help. Every veteran needs help, all right? Everybody on this show needs help. Like we all have our problems. We all have our issues. Hell, all of us are wounded warriors. And, if we can get you with the right brain treatment and the muscle treatment, get your body symmetrical, because as your body starts to heal when you get out of the military, because you're not running on the pavement 6 times a week, 5 times a week, your body starts to heal. But now it's got so much scar tissue that, your muscles are out of whack. So that's what Ventura Training and Athletics does, is they're going to get your muscles back in order. So we're working with Stop Soldier Suicide. There's a lot of you guys that have bought a lot of our swag, and I got it. You don't need 500 shirts from us. We would love that if you bought that, but go ahead and donate to them. Their link is on our website, right? They are doing great things, and they have a tremendous staff of great people. So look them up. You can see it. And then eventually this partnership wants to get into, we will have a Veteran Trash Talk fundraiser on their website so that that money is going to go to the holistic healing of warriors, right? And that's what we're more concerned about. Get them off the opioids and all that good stuff. To train their bodies and their minds to be better. We'll do a couple of short. The Book of Earl is going to be short today, but it's pretty simple. And I'm just as guilty as what the Book of Earl tells you not to do as anybody else. So I don't want to hear any of your hypocrite bullshit or anything like that. But I want to talk about production. All right. I want to talk about your attitude towards progressing in life. Right. And I was fortunate enough to be raised to expect to win, right? I expected to win at everything I do. You all saw that video when I played Dave on his foosball table. He's from Europe. He plays that stuff. I don't play it. But when I went into that match, I expected to win, even though it probably wasn't going to happen. He's pretty freaking good, but I expected to win. Now, what do I do about that when I lose? Do I blame it that it's his table? Do I blame that it's because he's from Europe? No, if I want to beat him, I got to work harder, right? I got to figure out how to get better at it. So the Book of Earl is if your attitude causes less production and you cause people who are producing to be worse, all right, you're a huge problem. right? If you surround yourself with depressed people, you're going to be depressed all the time. Now, there's a time to be sad. And I was just talking to my girls because this COVID thing is horrible for kids, right? The kids are not seeing their friends. They're not getting that social interaction. And I explained to them the old infantry term of embracing the suck, right? None of the times we were in combat was it the most beautiful place in the world, right? So we embraced it. We accepted the reality that this is what it is, and we're going to make the best out of it. And that's a hard thing to do for a lot of people because what we talked about last week with the victim culture, it's never their fault that they're upset. It's not their fault that their life sucks, and sometimes people get the raw deal, right? But once you get that raw end of the stick, you embrace it. All right. And this is what it is. This is the hand I got. What's real about it and how do I make it better? And that goes hand in hand with suicide, guys. Once that thought gets in your head, it just starts, coming down. And by the time you're 45, 50 years old, what else you got left? All you've been doing is thinking negative this whole time, like there was no hope. So use our platform. All right. Come on our page, come on our show. That's what we're here for. Get on there and, that's what we're here for. We're going to take care of it. Get the beast out so that we can all kill it together. That being said, we got the guys from 10th Mountain Distillery, and I believe it's Vail, Colorado, right? Correct?
That's correct, Nick. You got it.
So I made a mistake, which is rare. So Beckwith, you can jump on this later because this is the first time I was actually wrong. And I thought that they were 10th Mountain guys, right? So that's why I hit them up. I was like, they could have picked an airborne name, right? Because that would have been better, right? Everybody knows that 10th Mountain's a bunch of legs that rides the coattails of 18th Airborne Corps. So you could have just, you could have called yourself, even 101st still says airborne in it. You could have done something like that. But regardless, I reached out to them and I said, hey, come on the show, promote your distillery. And I found out that they weren't better known. And I was like, dang it. I was like, well, we don't do that for free. Well, these guys are gracious enough to send us some samples. So we got some free booze out of it, perks to the veteran trash talk community. And they also hire a bunch of veterans and they sponsor a bunch of veteran events. So I'll let them explain that. And after they explain it, we'll go through some of their samples and then they can talk about it. And so, yeah, the show's on you, Ryan. Good to have you on.
Thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate it. My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm the founder of 10th Mountain Whiskey. We got right next to me is Stephen Jacobs. Air Force veteran, been with us since day one. He's our sales rep, distributor here in the Valley. We're here in Vail, Colorado, where the 10th originated in the 1940s. What's your guys' history of 10th Mountain?
The only 10th Mountain we know are the bunch of legs that operate out of
We've
Fort
been
Drum,
too
New York.
busy winning wars.
Yeah, we saved
we once let them borrow some machine guns because they forgot them for a deployment. If that counts.
That happened.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's go back to the 1940s when the 10th originated. Why is there 10 mountain divisions? There's not. There's only one mountain division named the 10th Mountain because the Army wanted to fool the bad guys thinking that there were 10 mountain divisions coming at them. And so they originated here just south of Vail in a place called Camp Hale, Colorado. And that's they train there, mountain warfare, skiing, mountain climbing, living and training in sub-zero temperatures. They went off and kicked some ass in World War II. One of their main battles was the Battle of Riva Ridge, where they snuck up on the Germans on top of a mountain. On the backside, they scaled a mountain, a peak, Riva Ridge, and surprised the Germans at 4 a.m. when the Germans weren't even looking behind because they didn't think any soldiers were going to come up behind them on this ridge, and kicked some ass there, overtook this location, and went on to win some very significant battles in the war. When they returned, the soldiers, they sustained a lot of casualties there, 990 men out of the 10,000 in the unit during World War II. So they were killed in action there, and then a number got wounded, about 3,200 got wounded. When they returned back to the States, they wanted to share the mountain lifestyle that they had come to learn, come to enjoy, come to adapt to. And so the modern day ski industry was started by 10 mountain vets. Over 60 different ski resorts, ski schools, ski patrols were started by 10th Mountain vets. Nike was actually started by a 10th Mountain vet. Phil Knight's business partner is a guy named Bill Bowerman, served in the 10th. The National Outdoor Leadership School, the Knowles Experience, was started by 10th vets. Vail Mountain itself, where our home, was started by a 10th vet named Pete Seibert. Aspen Mountain was started by a 10th vet. You name it. And so we're sitting around watching what the craft distillery movement was doing, and we're like, hell, let's name it in honor of the 10th guys. Someone in this town's gonna start making whiskey sooner or later. It might as well be us. And so we started distilling in 2013. We say we're officially established in 2014 because that's when everything became legal and above the table. And so we honor the 10th guys at our distillery in Gypsum, which is a couple miles west of Vail, and then at our tasting room in Vail Village. Very well supported by different military organizations, not only the 10th, but a bunch of different Navy SEAL groups, a bunch of different branches of the military. And we do it's been near and dear to our heart to support different nonprofits. Vail Veterans Organization, I got to throw that out there. Heroes and Horses, support a lot of platoon reunions. So, Steve, you want to take it?
Yeah, as well as, a lot of our local community are veterans as well, and love, coming up and appreciating the mountain lifestyle and getting a chance to go ski. And when the wounded warriors come in every year, guys that have suffered a lot of not just mental issues, but intense physical issues. And when we're able to outfit them with ski gear and get them on the mountain and get them not feeling like there's something wrong with them, and getting them to appreciate just getting a chance to slide down the hill, it gives them hope, and it gives them something to hang on to, for the next year. So it's a great step in trying to help guys just have a little light in their life, a little positive, something to look forward to, something to think about, and something to not make them feel different than others,
Yeah, that's awesome. So what did you do in the Air Force? We got to find out, because there's a couple cool jobs and the rest are kind of, stupid. So what did you do?
No, absolutely. I was in communications, and my last duty station was there at Pope Air Force Base inside Fort Bragg. So did a lot of running around that landing strip, and a lot of hanging with some great Army guys and
paratroopers.
Yeah.
And might I reiterate, a lot of dudes, a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, but we appreciate that's a great intro, and for you guys to take care of the vets like you do, and honor the legacy of the 10th Mountain. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're extremely glad to have you on, and we're going to give you you'll get some business out of it, I'm sure, because the guys watching this, when they watch it again, they're going to understand your message now, and I guarantee you they will support you as well. That being said,
can I interrupt you real quick and tell a quick story?
Absolutely.
So this just happened less than 24 hours ago now. It's 6:15 here in Colorado, but we had 2 10th vets come down from Casper, Wyoming last night, 5.5 hour drive just to come to our distillery and hang out. And I met them at the distillery, did a tour with them, hung out for 3.5, 4 hours, and they saw everything that we were doing. And there were waterfalls coming from their eyes a couple different times. They were just so touched by what we were doing in honor of the 10th. And it was a pretty, and I told them that's not the first time we've had vets get emotional at our distillery, and then it's probably not going to be the last. But it's always special for us to host not only 10th vets or active soldiers, but any military at our distillery to come in and see exactly what we're about and what we're doing. And so that's just a recent story that happened within the last 24 hours. So.
Yeah, that's true, and that's that helps with our mission. Is that a lot of times people just want to be part of something, and as vets get older, depending on how their life changes, that can be very difficult. So that helping them out is just absolutely awesome. And like I said, I'm glad. I think it was we call it a little bit of fate that you ran across my Facebook screen. So and then I contacted you guys, and I didn't realize that we were going to uncover such a business that takes care of veterans and does all the stuff you're doing. So that being said, maybe talk us through a little bit of the distillery process and then what we're going to try first. And
yeah, sure. So we make, right now we make 7 types of whiskey, 7 types of spirits. 5 are released commercially, 2 are unreleased at this point. But three of the 5 right now are whiskeys. We make an unaged whiskey, which is a Colorado Clear Mountain Moonshine. What you guys have in front of you is our 10th Mountain Rye whiskey and a 10th Mountain Bourbon. Our 10th Mountain Bourbon is our most popular spirit, our best seller. Our 10th Mountain Rye whiskey is our most awarded spirit. Rye whiskeys are going to be a little spicier, a little full-bodied and a little more complex. Think rye bread versus white bread. It's 86 proof. Our bourbon is our highest octane at 92 proof and is our best seller. Bourbon is required to be at least 51% corn. Ours is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. Reverse that rye and corn ratio for our rye whiskey. So I'd suggest starting with the bourbon. It's 92 proof, like I stated. Yep, we gave you guys three of you guys samples there. Steven, what are we drinking here? What do we pour?
This could be 3 to 4 fingers of our delicious bourbon and a couple of shivas.
Yeah. Careful with that.
I feel bad that you left out of this one, Gunny. I promise it wasn't intentional. I know you're a bourbon drinker.
Gunny's got something going. I can see it.
We left Beckwith out of it because he's an intern. You are an intern.
I just wanted to.
You are an intern, and you will do what we tell you to do. You will dance when we tell you to dance.
I'm about to go get.
You got it? Yeah. Okay.
Bourbon.
He's on the porch with the bug zapper and the Budweiser.
He's always on the porch. He never goes in the house.
Sometimes he's in his car.
We don't know what's happening
there.
Why he can't get in there.
I don't even know whose porch this is, guys.
That's my wife actually asked, is he squatting?
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't he ever go in there?
Hey, Gunny,
because
you
I'm
and
not
my boys
allowed.
Fort
The
Campbell.
guy will get mad and shoot me.
Get a shot here, huh? Try it out.
I respect it, Gunny, but we got to change that bottle.
That's real smooth, guys. It tastes really good.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
So that was rated 92 points in Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. Jim Murray is the foremost whiskey expert in the world. Comes out with a new edition every year of the Whiskey Bible. Tastes over 1,000 different whiskeys a year. Really likes what we have going on. We've never met him personally. We just sent some samples to him, and he's all about it, so we're pretty proud of that. So, yeah, our bourbon that you're drinking right now is 92 proof. It was rated 92 points in Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. So
that's awesome. So,
Gunny, I got an extra bottle.
Hey, being here in North Carolina, how can I get what you all manufacturing out there and where you at?
Yes, sir, you got it. So we can ship direct to 38 states. And you there in North Carolina, we can ship direct to you as long as you don't tell the state on us.
I promise.
So spirits.10thwhiskey.com and enter promo code military for 10% off anything you guys want to buy.
Hey, Ryan, we'll get your website on the YouTube video. So, and then we'll tag it. So that way all the veterans will know on the Trash Talk that they can go to your website, put in that code. So after the show, make sure we stick around and make sure our producer gets that when he puts it on there. That'd be perfect. So what's next?
So then you got a little rye whiskey in front of you as well. Rye is going to be a little spicier. You're going to get a lot of cinnamon notes, a little vanilla notes. It ages a little quicker than bourbon does. It's going to be a little more complex spirit. Unbeknownst, it's our house favorite. If you poll all our whole team, they kind of gravitate towards the rye whiskey. It was rated 94.5 points in Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. Rye whiskey was super popular back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It lost a lot of attention in the 80s and 90s, and now it's making a comeback with the whole mixology scene the last decade, the last 15 years. It just adds a different characteristic to overall cocktails. So it stands on its own as a neater on the rocks, but it also makes a great addition to cocktails. So.
Hey, Ryan, one of our biggest supporters, Marnie, her dad was a Vietnam veteran, 2 Purple Hearts. She's watching on YouTube right now. She says, what about Ohio? You guys good to go to Ohio?
Yeah, we sure are. We ship direct to the consumer in Ohio all the time. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's give this a try.
86 proof. Right. The bourbon was 92 proof. Our rye is 86 proof. We just have fun with it. It's where we think the spirit itself really shows the best. And so we barrel age it. We enter the barrel at 120 proof. At the end of the aging process, it's 122, 124, 125 proof, and then we proof it down to bottle strength at the RAH is 86 proof. So
it looks like Buddy just aged his gasoline out of his truck for an hour. What are you drinking there?
I've got my own vintage, guys. It's made apparently by Mason Jar Company. I don't know. I got it from another 82nd guy down in Chattanooga. Apparently it comes from off the mountain, and it is delicious. Probably not as good as, it's not as complex as Nick or that rye whiskey, but it does the job.
Hey, hopefully we blow up big enough to where we can actually start paying our interns. But until then, he just has to drink the cheap stuff.
Understand.
Hey, Gunny's got some stuff down there too.
Gunny, what
What you
the
got,
hell
Gunny?
is that?
What is that,
What's going
absinthe?
on there, Gunny?
It looks like that. Is that absinthe? Dave, that
It
you grew up
looks
around
like you
that
put a
stuff.
neon sign in a bottle.
Hey, that's that apple from the mountain.
Nice.
Hey, but in the Air Force, did you ever go on a plane when paratroopers exited the plane?
Yes. You know, being there at Fort Bragg, I mean, you're just neck deep in it. And, you know, it was just an honor to give you guys a ride to wherever you needed to go.
So, like, at what point in time were you like, yeah, I got no chance in this city with these guys? Because, I mean, you really can't compete with us. So did that ever set in? Did you PCS immediately when that settled in? Or what kind of talk us through that?
No. It was never a problem. You know, when you're in the Air Force, unless you're combat control or a pararescueman or a jet fighter, you're working for those guys, basically, you know, and you just have to accept that out of the gates. But our food and our female comrades will put you to shame any day of the week, and you know it.
I mean, those tell-alls are good.
I mean, he's not exactly wrong.
Yeah, that was probably the best comeback from a non-combat MOS that we've heard so far. So cheers
That
on
was
that
on
one.
point. That was good to go.
Understood.
This rye is really good too, guys. Really good. So I'll be
People
buying
gravitate
it.
towards one or the other. If you like sweeter, you're going to like the bourbon. If you like spice, you're going to like the rye.
Man, they were both incredibly smooth, though.
They were.
Yeah.
I prefer the bourbon. The rye is good, but that bourbon is on point.
My Air Force brother doing a lot of smiling. Which one is he drinking?
Gunny, I got 2.5 fingers of bourbon and some heavy shivers going over here, and I'm loving it. This is good stuff. This is good corn whiskey right
It's
here.
got a lot of ice on it.
Yeah, you got it. It's a hot summer day.
I mean, I didn't want to embarrass you guys by putting ice in mine, so I wanted to give it a good shot.
Hey, we don't say anything. It's like however you like to drink it. If you like to drink it neat, great. If you like it on ice, great. Hell, if you want to put it in hot chocolate, we're all for it. So,
we're all part of the equal opportunity to do whatever you please, right?
Exactly.
So, but it's still every action has a consequence. So, like I was raised, and a lot of us were raised in the Andre Agassi era, where image is everything, and that's why I take all of my instruction from Buddy Beckwith on how to dress. And if you see my videos on Facebook, all that is because I just want to look cool. And it doesn't matter how fast I run, as long as I look like I can run fast. And Buddy Beckwith teaches me all that. And he's off right now, so he's back. Okay.
I'm back. I was busy messaging Preston, but the funny thing is that you can run, but if you have to pick something up with those little toothpick legs you got, it ain't happening.
Well, yeah, that's why I put the high socks on. That's why you told me to put the high green socks on. Make sure
it's all fun. It's all fun and games until you get somebody pushes you like in the top half of your body and you fall over because you're so misproportioned, like the rest of you conventional fellas are.
Hey, Nick, you're going over fashion over function, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, but for the story, right? So you got it.
Nick is well known as the Abercrombie model of the 82nd Airborne Division.
Well, we
Correct.
see a lot of that BS here in Vail and in the ski lines. people look good, but they can't ski worth a shit. So
Right. I learned how to wedge. I learned how to wedge years ago. So like you can kind of just slide down the hill, but I will have the best set of goggles on so that when you see me in the lodge, you're like, that dude can ski. Right.
And as long as you look good, brother.
You'll never have anybody else there with less
I saw you
ability.
ski. We took a trip. Then we went the 82nd. We went skiing. You can ski.
Yeah, I can ski, Dave. Like I said, I was raised to win at everything, so I can ski.
You'll never have somebody
in Austria, so I'm good to go. You know, I've been on the Alps.
You'll never have somebody at Nick's ski level convince people more that he's a pro before he even skis.
Yodel.
Yeah, Beckwith definitely yodels. I've heard that before. So
one of the most embarrassing athletic moments of my life actually happened in Loveland Pass in Colorado when I was trying to learn how to snowboard. I hit the front edge and completely destroyed myself going down this mountain, and this 8-year-old girl skis up, hits that side stop thing, and like throws snow everywhere. It was like majestic and beautiful, and I'm like turning around like an idiot. She looks down and like, "You need help, sir?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." She skied off, and I was like, "I'll punch you in your face." Girl, get out of here.
Guys, whenever you come out, put a little duct tape on your ski bibs so it'll buy you a little street cred. Yeah. Out here, if you got a little tear or a little nick on your coat or your gloves or whatever, you got to put a little duct tape on it. Let people know you're not fresh in off the streets.
Gotcha. Perfect.
I'm walking in there. I'm walking in there wearing a Smurf Blue 2 Panther shirt, beating a drum, saying the champ is here, and I've never skied before. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're going to have it recorded.
Hey, Joe, we're buying you drinks at the tasting room.
I'm coming in that fucker with some Speedos on and the white beat.
That's what I'm talking about. Maybe Gunny, we'll make a veteran trash talk Speedo just for you. So
Gunny, we're charging you double if you wear a Speedo.
Say again?
We're charging you double if you wear a Speedo.
Don't remember to bring the small one. It's cold out here.
Double, it ought to be free if he's wearing a Speedo.
Hey, but since we're at it, buddy, why don't we go into your honesty cap here and give us a performance like you did last week? Last week was definitely by far the best performance I have seen. Yeah. That shit.
So I feel like I've got a decent one for the night, and since I've had some of Matthew Johnson's medicine, I feel like I can definitely flow right into it. So last week we did our show. Everything was great. Sunday, I think it was Sunday, I went out to eat, went to this Mexican restaurant that's right down from this guy's porch that I'm sitting on. And we sit down, we order our food. I look up on the TV and ESPN's on. And it's truck racing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Truck NASCAR's on. But it looked weird. And then I noticed, when did we start watching video game NASCAR? When did that become a fucking thing? When do we start, like, these nerdy ass kids are in their fucking mother's basement?
I knew he didn't get
little
it.
Fucking steering wheels and headphones, and like, and they're racing. Like, what are you racing? There's absolutely like no. Why we're watching this? People sponsor NASCAR video game racing.
Quarantine.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is that a real thing?
Unless your name's Kyle Larson, then you're not getting a whole lot of sponsorship through that.
Right. So, buddy, I don't know if you're tracking.
That was a pretty profound statement in his life.
I feel like if you're a video game NASCAR race car driver, first of all, if you ever say, I'm a professional NASCAR race driver, and you do it on a video game, you should automatically be punched in the mouth.
Amen.
Automatically.
What about the guy that buys it for?
And at the end of the day, you're a liar, because you're not. You're a liar. Secondly, if you wreck, there should be 10 dudes with baseball bats that beat the living shit out of you. You want to?
I like it, buddy.
Hey, what about the guy that gets What about the guy that gets fooled into watching 40 miles of it before he realizes it's a video game? Is there any consequences there?
Literally a half a lap. I was like, okay, it's the trucks. And then I see like this weird, they're like floating. I was like, what the fuck is, and then they show, like, first of all, there are commentators. Commentators? What are you commentating on? Like, there he goes. He's not doing anything.
They didn't only do that for truck. They did that for Xfinity and Cup Series as well. They had Junior. They had Dale Earnhardt Jr. commentating on it.
Yeah. What are they commentating on?
Tell me how you really feel.
That's exactly how I really feel.
That's the second time in 2 weeks someone said the exact same thing to Buddy. That's exactly what Sam said. Word for word.
So Gunny, what you're not tracking, if you haven't watched many of the shows, is our unpaid intern brings the heat most of the time. He's had a couple struggles, but he brings the heat with what's going on that needs to be addressed. And I will agree, because how dumb the virtual NASCAR was. Somebody actually, and Joe brought him up, lost his sponsor because of a comment that he made.
Kyle
that was, and that guy was not just. First of all, he was wrong. Let's go with that.
Right.
Secondly,
during a NASCAR race, he did something
He was
stupid.
also an actual NASCAR racer that was racing on video games when he lost his sponsorship and got fired because he's also apparently a bigot. Who knew?
Yeah. See, that's what pissing me off right now. It's called, I stay 5 minutes from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I have not missed a race in 3 fucking years. Oh, excuse my English. And
nope. Gunny, say what you want. Let him fly if you have to.
Floodgates, Gunny, you're good.
And I live right next to him too. So
yeah. So now you freaking telling me I got to do some video game bullshit? No, it don't work that way.
Hey, Gunny, is that right? You live next to Joe?
That's right. We're neighbors.
You got a lawnmower?
Yeah, I do.
Because
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
grass. It needs help, man. Like, I'll come out there if I could borrow your lawnmower. I'll come out there. I'll cut it for him.
Hey, drink some 10 pounds whiskey and mow that lawn, would you?
It was
Hey, Joe, we ain't gonna take this shit, man. I got you, brother.
Yeah,
I hope so, because he's taking down your property value probably every day. Like, I mean, you gotta control this guy. What's going on here?
I don't ever.
He's gonna be trying to race NASCARs online.
The 82nd guy has got bad grass. You got so much training on how to cut grass with everything from a broken lawnmower to an e-tool to like just a shovel that you were whacking around.
Yeah, I mean, we could practice our low crawling while we edge the quad with our e-tool. I mean, it's training, fellas. It's training.
The cool part. You know what the cool part about it is, though, buddy, is that I just didn't feel like it, and no one's gonna tell me otherwise. Like Nick can bust my chops all he wants. It's never gonna stop. You know, I mean, it's Nick.
Hey, I've got an idea.
It could be edged in, and he'd find a centimeter off. He's like, I had tapers in on the sidewalk. Get your edges.
Are you
straight.
trying to blame me for your lack of ability to
I don't.
It long and make sure that Gunny's property value doesn't go down? Are you blaming me for that? Like, you didn't listen to my
Joe, that you got kids. You could always let them walk on your grass because I was always told that kills it.
Yeah, that's the next step. It's the Michael Jordan rule where he turned his backyard into dirt by playing basketball on the grass. Just have him run around a little bit.
Right, yeah, get something done there. Let's fix that. I mean, I feel bad. Gunny seems like a good guy. I mean, we haven't really heard him talk yet. He seems like a good guy.
we got to introduce him.
Did you finish your story there or no? Your NASCAR story or no?
Hey, Beck, you done with your Odyssey cap? What else you got? Do you want to elaborate on
I did have one other that I was gonna say, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I found a new diet routine. So the other day I was super hungry, and honestly, Cat fully on. I like a good buffet. McKellar's Lodge was the shit back in the day. One of the happiest moments of my life was going to the Golden Corral in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the day after theater school, and I hadn't eaten for like 11 days.
I've never had the shit so bad in my life.
but I went there recently and decided that is the easiest way to figure out, you feel better. Like, it could help veteran suicide because when you go there, you figure out that you're not as bad off as you think you might be, because everyone else there, like, where the fuck do these people come from? It's like whole wrecked ass families of like 400 pounders that are just dipping everything in chocolate. It's crazy.
Helps you put it in perspective.
And then like, but you get in there, you pay like 15 or 20 bucks per person. You know how much salad you have to eat to get $20 worth? Because you don't want to eat anything else once you get in there. You got to eat a lot of lettuce. You are basically a part-time cow at that point.
Hey, do they have the chocolate fountain?
I look around at like other people's plates and I look at them and they're like 500 pounds. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not having potatoes for the next year or two.
Answer me this, buddy. Do they have the chocolate fountain going?
Oh, they always got a chocolate fountain going.
Yeah,
I watched this is no bullshit. I watched a woman who was literally 150 pounds overweight, along with everyone else at her table who was. Her two kids were not that big, but
not yet.
She was talking to the waiter about how her kid had like a insulin pump because she had diabetes. I literally had just watched that kid dip marshmallows, strawberries, and like a cake in the chocolate fountain and eat it. And like the little diabetes thing was going off, and she was like, "Oh, it's not that big a deal." You know, she did it every now and then. But you just let her eat like 800 grams of sugar. She's got that. You're the worst human.
Buddy,
ever.
He needs it.
It was a she, first of all. Secondly, they didn't
pay attention, Joe.
Like their sugar was going up like one of Elon Musk rockets. It was insane.
That would be intense.
So I think, hey, buddy, I think we can brand this. I think what we just discovered is the Buddy Beckwith dietary nutrition tool. If you're about 15 pounds overweight to 10 to 20, just take yourself to a Golden Corral and look at what you're about to become. So
yep.
Not only will
it make you drop 5 pounds almost immediately,
right?
It will also, like, once you realize that you don't have barbecue stains and armpit holes and you don't smell like bacon mixed with like potato skins, you feel good about yourself. You feel
we'll call it.
You know what? I'm not that fucked up. I'm good.
We'll call it trauma-based nutrition.
Joey, what you need is to step your shit up and go to Cracker Barrel. Get the hell out of Golden Corral. That's Bush League bullshit.
Cracker Barrel's too classy for me.
That's chicken the size of a car tag.
You got to tip people at Cracker Barrel.
I also find that I can't get through the store at Cracker Barrel because I'm too busy. I figure I gotta have every album and every old redneck T-shirt that they have in there. So
I got kicked out of a Cracker Barrel one time for stealing a pecan log and a rubber band gun. But that rubber band gun was fucking a Gatling gun, and it was fully automatic.
Did you shoot it at him as you were leaving to break contact? Like,
yeah, Air Force definitely break contact, absolutely. So,
hey, but I have no problem doing a real quick soapbox because I want to get to Gunny.
Get up, Joey.
Before we get too late. If I may have the floor. Well, shit. When you got the mic and you got a minute, say what you want to say. So to our friend and friend of the page, Terry Steele, I just want to say our prayers go out to you. She's got a service dog that they diagnosed that doesn't have too long, and she's okay with me saying this. And for those of you that don't know, she was the veteran in our first MST video, and the reason why she had the courage to say go ahead is because of Leah. She saw Leah's strength to go out and do that video, and it steeled her spine to come out and say, okay, well, go ahead and tell them my name. So Terry, we all love you. Thanks for having the guts to do that, and prayers go out to Loki, your Great Dane service dog. We hope you have him for the next 10 years. Love you, and
God bless.
That's gonna be it on my soapbox, because this man sitting here with the USMC sleeveless on with the guns. I ran into him a few weeks ago because the wife loves Texas brisket, and we ran into each other at the smoke pit.
That's what I'm talking about.
The smoke pit has a lot of different nicknames in the Army, but this smoke pit was a Texas brisket and North Carolina pulled pork. They knock it out of the park. So we met there waiting on our food, and this man has 3 decades of service in the United States Marine Corps, retired Master Gunny Sergeant. Man loves a good Harley. Has been to Sturgis many a times.
Oh yeah.
And when he told me how old he was, I said, for Christ's sake, you should write a book about staying young. And he said, I'd call it Clean Living, and I've never sipped a cheap glass of scotch. And I said, you're gonna fit in right along with the boys real well. So Gunny, I don't even, whatever story comes to mind about your service, whether it's garrison, combat, whatever you want to do, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for stepping up and representing the Marine Corps. We've been begging for something to come on. We're glad to have you
Been
here.
waiting for months.
Man,
Master Gunny, the floor is yours.
Let me tell y'all something, because when I met this brother right here, and he was telling me about what you all, the platform that you all was having, I mean, man, it was just like a breath of fresh air. You know, with veterans, it don't matter what brand we give each other shit all the time. But that's a good thing, because we keep each other on our toes. The Navy always say they're giving us a ride. The Army always saying they doing this, and we saying this about them. But our main mission is to kill the enemy. That's our main mission. But with that being said, I went in the Marine Corps in 1975, and I was raised by Vietnam vets, so I had the mentality as the 70s creeped into the 80s. I had that mentality of Vietnam vets. Training.
Hey, Gunny, can we interrupt real quick? How old are you, bud?
I'm 63.
No shit, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you look like you're 40, man.
Seriously.
Clean living, good scotch.
Gunny, all I gotta say is call the plumber, my friend, because the pipes is busting.
You know, but at the same time, you know, I was just raised by good leaders, man. And I want to tell you one story that happened to me in 1976. It was a racial thing. I was sent up to the general's office. I was supposed to be interviewed to be a driver. And it was 4 of us. It was 3 whites, 1 black. I was the black guy. 2 white guys went in there, interviewed. The second guy, he got the job. And he looked at the gunny, the E7, looked around the corner and said, well, tell that N-word to go back to his unit. We don't need him. Nah, good to go. It didn't bother me none. I was kind of used to that. Went back, my platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Vance from Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. This guy, he was a white guy, 3 tours in Vietnam. Our old uniforms was called sateens. He walked around with a 32 pistol in his pocket. You know it was there. I went back to my unit and I told him what happened. He punched me in my chest. He said, don't you ever let nobody call you this. Got in the Jeep, we rolled up to the CG's building. He said, show me that gunny. He went in there, beat the gunny's ass, came out the office, snatched me in my collar, and I said, don't you ever let this happen again. The moral of the story is, 24 years later, I end up being the senior enlisted in that same office.
Damn right.
The senior enlisted in that same office. My military career is what America can be. Whether I meet you Air Force, Army, Navy, or Coast Guard, lead, follow, or get the hell out the way.
Damn right, Gunny. Damn right.
And that's how I was raised. That's how I was raised. And
Damn right, Gunny.
if you can't hold the mustard, just get the hell out the way. But man, I'm gonna tell you something. This platform right here, I've been retired now for 15 years. This motivated the shit out of me. Motivated the shit out of me. And
Johnny, when you say this platform, what the platform that these guys that we're on right now, or what platform are you referencing?
just hearing you guys talk about your stories, just going at each other. Just look, my man there. He got a beard, but he got a bald head. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's just not a good look. He's a trigger puller.
He's hungry.
So, hey, but man, I'm just military minded. I know I'm taking too long, but
you're not.
You're not. In fact, I got a question for you here in a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's the thing, especially since you were talking about like the racial undertones of what happened to you back in the 70s. I feel like at some points, I think that like especially now with all the racism that's going on and all the like the bickering back and forth, I feel like veterans, especially combat veterans, have a weird, like, we don't get it because we take it for granted that we don't generally look at people by their color. Like, Martin Luther King said that, at some point you be judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin. And I think that veterans, especially combat veterans, like, I don't give a shit what you look like. I don't give a shit if you're a guy or a girl, or you got two twigs in an area, or you got them cut off, or what. Like, I care if you can handle your weight in combat, and I care when we get out if you can handle your weight when we're doing work, so we get the job done and get out of there. And I feel like civilians, they don't get that. We do, because they've never put their life in somebody else's hands, regardless of what they look like or what they stand for or anything else. Like, they say that there are no atheists. There are no atheists in a foxhole. There are also not very many KKK or Black Lives Matter members in a foxhole either. Because if you're trying to pick your foxhole buddy by what he looks like, you might get extra holes in you than you have.
There you go.
Hey, Nick, say what you were going to say, Nick.
And see, and what they're what they're trying to do is bring us into their bullshit.
Right.
We can't let them mess with our ethos, which is honor, courage, and commitment. We got to stick to that.
Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. You've been waiting.
So, Ryan, to help answer your question with the platform, one of the things we started and we were talking about earlier in the first couple episodes was, it's not good to just sit there and keep it inside. And everybody says the World War II veterans were the greatest generation, sure, absolutely. But their suicide rate was at 12%, right? Mm-hmm. So just because they came home and shut up about it didn't make it any better, right? It just because we looked at that as more manly, right? And also going on with the military sexual trauma that we brought up earlier, and I was going to plug Dave's fiance in this because she said something on social media that, a man's sexuality is his problem. Which means that, it doesn't matter what a woman wears. It doesn't matter, like, at all. So the platform that we built, Ryan, to answer your question is that you need to get on here and you need to talk about what happened. You need to get on here and you need to share your combat stories, because there's somebody right now that doesn't have a family, that doesn't have a job, and they need to hear the stories, because it's the same stories that's going through their head that they don't think anybody else understands. So we invite civilians to this page and to this platform, because civilians will never truly understand, but we know America is a very giving nation, and the people are. And all they want to do is all we ask civilians to do is try. Just try to understand that, Dave and I can BS each other all day. And it's because we have a brotherhood that's nobody else. It's unmatched, right? And for what we'll let the gunning take back over here in a second, but it's obviously not as bad when in the 70s in the military now, but the racism is still there. And unless you have that squad leader, that leader in charge, just stop it.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Just stop it right freaking there. Like it's not happening anymore.
Nick, tell them what you said. Tell them what you said in that speech when you did the stats.
Oh, the stats. When I was a first sergeant of a rifle company, and then I was a first sergeant of an HAC company, and so the stats are that 1 out of 15 is a sexual predator, right? So when you have 200 guys or 200 soldiers, right? You guys can all do the math. I've been drinking whiskey, right? So I was like, 6 of you are statistically predators. And 8 of you, because the racist number is higher than the sexual predator. So I was like, 10 to 12 of you are racist. And I would do this at every safety brief. I would say, you better pray to God somebody else besides me finds you.
Right.
And I was like, because if I find you and I find out that you are a racist or you're a predator towards one of my soldiers, I was like, I'm going to jail because I'll kill you.
How do we go deeper in that? And how do we stop that from happening? And getting into that?
Well,
I got a response.
You're never going to stop it completely, but
Exactly.
Yep, I got a response for that.
It's awareness, though. We go through a bunch of classes and stuff.
Yeah,
that doesn't help. It's the individuals that are on the outside circle that are watching from the outside.
It's the leaders. It's
Exactly.
the small group of leaders that it's like, that joke was funny, and the most of us laughed at it. But you know what? If you want to have a professional organization and you want to send the right message, then that joke doesn't fly. Right.
Nick,
so it's like
that, and that's a start on the top level. How do we get to
I'm talking a little level.
That is what he's talking about is and Gunny, you remember the day I met you when we were talking about this, I said right now on the national scale, we're nothing. We're not even on the radar. But we're making a dent in the right direction, and all we're doing right now is the only thing as a man you can do, and that is tighten up your backyard. And if you make the difference, has to come from the fact that I'm standing there next to a man I never met before, getting some barbecue, and now he's sitting here on the show, and we're brothers. The difference comes from fixing your own backyard, policing your own backyard, and if you are a man of the people, then be a man of the people. Point blank, period. And when the cameras aren't watching, everybody's integrity is what really is shown.
Take a listen to this here. The average in all branches of the service, all 5 branches of the service, the average age in boot camp is normally from 18 to 23. Okay, from 18 to 23. Let's just say that you take those guys. They lived a certain way for 18 years to 23 years. And then you put them in a controlled environment for 3 months. And then you send them on to their technical MOS for 6 months. It's not going to take care of that 18-year to 23-year history that they have. So it's going to take some time. And if they stay around you long enough, they're going to realize, whoa, the way I was thinking, no, I can't accomplish the mission. And when you become a team player, then your whole mindset change. That's what the military does. It creates a team player mentality where whether you stay in the military or whether you go back to the civilian sector, you become a team player. There's no individuality in the military. None whatsoever.
Gunny. I'll go a step further, Gunny, and say that you're dead on with, those guys are 18 when they join the military, or 18 to 23. I was raised in Alabama, up in Huntsville, and we had a pretty diverse community. But my cousin raised down in Middle Alabama, not at all diverse, and those kids go from 0 to 18 or 23, and they've never experienced. All they've done is heard what is either ignorant ass people say ignorant ass stuff, or they've heard, whatever they've heard and however they've been raised. And it's up to they get there, and then, it's up to them to kind of open their minds. And then they meet people like you, they meet people like Nick, they meet people that are Jewish, they meet people that are Asian, they meet people
like
that
Dave
they would have
Germany.
never ever come across. They meet German rappers that they would never have come across.
That's still, I have not gotten over that.
I was going to say, where else can you meet a German rapper? No, he's right about that one.
Yeah.
A trilingual German.
Can't believe it.
A trilingual German rapper who still calls the coffee Folgers.
The best singer
And then bitches
from
at me
Germany
about his
Hasselhoff.
English.
Yeah, but they realize that what they heard is incorrect, and then they finally start learning that maybe and you know what, there are it's the Army, it's the Marines, it's the Navy, it's the military. We recruit from the same demographics as the United States, so by definition we recruit some dumb motherfuckers that have really
most definitely
backwards. And we recruit some guys. Like last week we had a guy that graduated from Harvard. Like we've got like the whole demographic from like don't eat that paint to like how did you
hey buddy paint? let me carry on with that for you. Like we had a guest on that was graduated from Harvard. We had a guest on that went to Yale, right? And now we have guests on that don't even know where they are at the moment in time. It happens that way. And yeah, social media is awesome to me because that's like my life with the trolling. But whenever somebody tries to even, people from your hometown that they even think about diversity, it's like, bro, you got no idea. It's like you got no idea the level of diversity, especially a combat arms guy. When Beckwith brought that up, is there. When the military sexual trauma and all that stuff was coming on our radar, we didn't even think about it. We weren't even thinking about it because it doesn't happen in our units as much as it happens once in a while, but not nearly as much. And like, not to keep reiterating what they said, but if you can't fight, man, I don't care who you are. Like you're gonna fight, and we're gonna make sure that you survive, and we're gonna do everything we can to get you to survive. And it doesn't matter where you're from. And in those, when you have adversity, that's when the true colors show up, right? So when you go to the actual combat situations where there's actual combat, you start seeing people for who they really are real quick. And then it's like, you suck. You're going to sit over there, all right? And you're going to sit there and shut up, or we're going to beat the shit out of you, right? Like, it's that simple, like, because you are lost it. And with my talks with Stop Soldier Suicide, Joe's and I talked what we had, I was trying to explain that to him, that there's an acceptable loss in every mission, right? So we don't. It sucks to say that somebody's going to kill himself and we can't stop it, right? But there is going to be a number that happens, and like Bill, who's watching, the Mad Russian's watching our show right now. He said that there is no zero solution to racism or sexism in the Army, right? And the DoD. There is no zero solution, right? It's because there's that guy like the Gunny was talking about that doesn't understand the team he's on, right? He or she, they don't understand the team, and they're never going to get the team, right? And then they're going to get out of the DoD, they're going to get out of wherever they were at, and all they're going to do is complain about the DoD. They're going to complain about the Army, right? And that's the snowflake culture I talked about last podcast. Was that there's a ton of snowflakes in the DoD. Right. So just because you say you're a veteran doesn't make you a hero. Right. Just because, you serve doesn't make you the greatest person ever. Man, like you really didn't ever grasp it. And that's why you got out, and you're going to trash it. But that's, again, this platform is because everybody on here, there's a mission that we have, and we are never going to let anybody go that we can. We are going to try to save every single freaking one that we can. And I will go to my grave trying every day. And I just had a soldier call me 2 days ago with a problem, right? And that's, that I haven't seen in a couple of years. And he called me, and I was like, Yeah, let me walk you through this, bud. Right? It's like and everybody here on this camera has had that. And the civilian side, I'm sure you have it too, but it's in the military, you get touched so broad. And once you stay in for 15 years plus, your network is so huge that like people will call you out of the blue and say, hey, thank you for 7 years ago. And you don't realize it. And that brings it back to the point of when you shut down that racism and you shut down that sexism right there on the spot, there's a 19-year-old kid watching you. And he loves you. He wants to be you. And as soon as you shut that down instantly, in his brain, it's in there forever now. All right?
It's done.
On the other side of that, you let it happen. That 18-year-old sees you do that, and you're like, he's like, okay, all right, so we can. That's okay as long as everybody laughs, right? And that's how that seed starts.
But he understands in the moment. He understands in that moment that he's on his own.
Joining us from Montana. Weston is in his cowboy hat. He's just finally, what the fuck? Where you been, my man?
Sorry, guys. I'm playing catch up on the conversation. I'm working with a difficult horse right now, and I left my phone in the barn.
You're an Army guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't airborne, were you?
Mountain reconnaissance sniper. Now
you weren't airborne, were you?
No.
No. Yeah, you would have made station time if you were. You'd have been here on time. So, but it's okay.
Probably.
Go ahead. Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
No, it's all good. Sorry for being late, guys.
No, you're good. You're good, Weston. We just busted your balls a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to ask if you were out chasing that Kiowa mare that bit Robert Duvall in the back, and then I realized this was not Lonesome Dove. But
no, I'm working with a horse.
Weston,
I'm working with a horse that
is enough to keep someone sane. Good work, man. Kudos.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Weston, the whole group's juiced up. Can you tell?
Yeah. Hey, longest shot, Weston. What's the longest target you've ever hit, person and or target? What's the longest one?
Yeah, I understand this real quick, Weston. We were at a shooting range about 2 months ago, and Weston got me on target about 780 meters. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's right. 764.
We're talking about a live target.
Live. No, I said it's okay if it was a target.
But I got to give kudos to Weston, so he's my boy.
Mile was the longest vehicle shot, and longest person was 723, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's been a while.
Where were you at for that? Fob Loyalty, 10th Mountain?
I was in Solder City.
Yeah, right by Fob Loyalty, right?
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah. So,
up by SUJ.
Yeah, right at Suge. Yeah. Yeah, we've all chewed that dirt, Weston. We were all there, man, right after 10th Mountain. Hey, you didn't work under you didn't work under DISC, did you?
DISC. Not ringing a bell.
No, okay. Yeah, because that was that deployment in by Solder City. It was he was the first sergeant in the Bravo company. And then yeah.
Yep. No,
yeah,
that was
good shit. Yeah, we definitely shoot some of the same dirt, man. We were in the same part you were in. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
Sucks over there. I prefer Montana.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we were.
What are you drinking? Hey, what are you drinking there, Weston?
That great plan to put T-walls around everything so the enemy could maneuver wherever they wanted to.
Right, and just drop little grenades on you. That was the 10th Mountain plan. That was 10th Mountain plan.
Nope.
Yeah, it's always nice when you make it easier for them, right?
We gotta even the playing field somehow.
Hey, so Weston, what do you do for 10th Mountain Distillery?
That's a great question.
Brand ambassador.
So you're like
brand ambassador.
Does everybody know what his value is? Okay.
So you drink the whiskey.
Brand ambassador, and I help Ryan with marketing stuff. That's what I do when I'm not playing with horses and shit. I've got my own company doing marketing consultation, website builds, and logo designs, and apparel lines, and that kind of stuff.
Well, hey, Weston, I don't know if you know this, but we're a startup apparel company and podcast company. So if you ever want to come help us out, that'd be pretty big. you know, we have a good lineup, but the most people that you can possibly get in for better ideas, the better. So we got
absolutely. I'll check it out. I'll do my due diligence on my end after the podcast.
I
Nice,
really
perfect.
Love
Thanks.
from busting your balls about being in a 10th mountain to sucking them to
sucking
try
up.
to get you to
Hey, you want to help us out?
The funny guys, you know what the funny thing is right now? Here, let me show you. You can't hurt my feelings.
Damn.
Attaboy, Weston.
Say whatever you want, guys.
I don't see a beach. I don't see a beach.
That's what you call living.
I don't see a beach. Yeah, so
he took out me from a long distance.
Hey, how's the traffic out that way?
Not bad. I stay off the roads. I'm on horses all day.
Man, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm here 2 weeks longer than I was supposed to because I don't want to go home.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Hey, I think we can all stay along after this podcast. We'll probably cut the live stream here pretty soon because everybody wants to Saturday night get on drinking, but we all stay on and give it a chat. But I appreciate having all you guys on, and I'll send it to Dave to close it out. But in case he forgets, because he doesn't usually drink whiskey. But
hey, Nick, you might just want to close it out, man. You're good.
Oh yeah, I said he doesn't usually drink whiskey, so he can't really handle it. He's a German guy, you know.
I'll just start doing it in German or Italian, you know.
Right. Yeah. But remember that we are a for-profit company, and we are partnered with Stop Soldier Suicide, who they are, like I said, they are the reactive version of giving everybody as much care as possible, and we are trying to partner with them to where we could be the proactive part of it. And so part of our proceeds go to Stop Soldier Suicide. So get on there, buy our hats, buy our shirts. We're coming up with more stuff. I keep pressuring Joe to get some other stuff on there for you poorer people. Like we'll get some T-shirts that are only like $15.
Sweet.
But remember, we are in this 100%. Whether we make $1 or not, we'll keep it going. And the main goal is to make enough money to actually start paying Beckwith, our unpaid intern, because he is fire, and we don't give him enough credit. But thank you to Gunny coming on.
Let me reiterate something.
Yeah.
Let me reiterate how important this is. I mean, you guys, man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Just sitting here with you all for the last hour or so, just talking and hearing what you were saying, man. Just bring back what the military meant to me, and what it still means to me. And I would do every damn thing in my power to put us out there to celebrate, because we have something, man, that people that just don't have, and that's
Right.
brotherhood.
Thank you for saying us, Gunny, because you're damn right about that part.
Gunny, you haven't heard Nick's thing about, you sit two civilians and a civilian on a park bench and we watch cars. Nothing crazy going to happen. You sit two veterans next to each other and we're just watching cars, and the best discussions in the world will happen. Yeah.
Freaking shit hot, man.
Exactly what you just said. That's what our organization is all about.
I did say that, but I got that from Ranger Yates, who jumped into Panama, and
it sounded good.
And I tell you this: next time I come on, I'm gonna have some backup.
Well, let's hope so, because
there we go.
Gunny, you gonna bring the crayons to eat them? You got a whole bucket of crayons?
Are you going
Gunny, like usual, the Marines are pretty cool, and you were pretty awesome. The Marines can fight. We got that. But you needed us to carry you. You needed the Rangers and the SF guys to get in there and secure the drop zones for you and the LZs, and we did it for you. So
that's what they
fight.
That's what Gunny did. That's what Gunny did.
That's what we did. We secured the airfield.
He was a land support specialist.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm a land support specialist. So
you came in on the airland after we jumped in and killed everybody.
No. We advanced party, brother. We advanced party. We go in.
Okay, so you jumped in.
We go in with the infantry. So
we're the Admon. You guys are advanced.
We're the
Admon.
But hey, let's give 10th Mountain Distillery the last word, and then Suds can cut us, and then we'll stay on and talk about some just some fun stuff. So go ahead, Ryan, and the Air Force guy over there. You give us the last word.
Cheers, guys. This is Steven. I'll let him take it.
Guys, just want to tell you all, it's an honor to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your work. And let's work together to keep guys alive, because all of us, no matter what branch, no matter what color our skin is, we've all got stuff we're dealing with. Let's work together through communication in whatever level that is to keep each other alive and keep ourselves moving forward. All right? Let's work together.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Even though you're
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers, my brother.
Good to meet you guys.